Alright guys, England have just beaten Senegal by 3 goals to 0, and yeah, brilliant performance from England. I think there was a dodgy spell in maybe the 10th to 30th minute mark where I thought Senegal started to get on top and definitely created the better chances. And yeah, it wasn't the greatest start to the game ever from England, but once England exploded into life with that goal by Henderson, which was, a well worked goal. It had a lot of players playing a part in it down that left hand side. I was impressed with Kane's role and Foden's in the goal in terms of pulling one of the Senegalese centre backs out of position. I think it might have been Sabali who was forced out of position, and that left the space in behind for Bellingham to run into and get across for Hendo. And brilliant team goal. And the midfield three in this game, I think Southgate's got to stick with this midfield three because it works so well. Having Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham, they're two of the first names on the team sheet, but having Jordan Henderson alongside them, what Henderson gives you is the leadership. It's not, the most exciting football ever. Like he's not the silkiest player by any means, but he gives you leadership. He gives you organisation. He gives you energy as well, and also the sort of defensive coverage in the team as well. Like he's box to box. He can cover both sides, but also it allows Bellingham to help in attack a lot more, get forward, like he did for both of the goals today. So I think that midfield three is really important to stick with. The second goal, once again, superb from Bellingham. Brilliant pass from Foden and a well taken finish from Harry Kane. And Harry Kane did this at the Euros as well, didn't he? Blanked for the group stage, but as soon as the knockout rounds came, he kicked into gear. So hopefully that happens again now that he's got one. But really good team performance from England. Senegal, they're a decent side. It's the first time this tournament I feel as though we've beaten what I would call a good side. Like Iran, they're not bad, but they're not a side that if you beat them, you class that as an achievement. They are very much group stage team, without any disrespect really. And Wales were quite poor this tournament compared to how they've done in the 2 Euros that they've been to in the past 5, 6, 7 years. So yeah, this is the first time England have, I think, achieved something big in this tournament, especially by how convincing it was, especially in the end of the first half and the start of the second half. Some really good football, something we haven't actually seen too much under Southgate. Southgate's done really well in getting results and getting England far in tournaments, but we haven't actually played any sort of, or rarely have we played any free-flowing football where it's like just really easy on the eye. And tonight we did that with players like Foden, Bellingham, and Kane, Saka, all linking up well. And even the third goal, well-worked goal, brilliant from Foden, and a tidy finish from Saka as well, which was nice to see, because I think Saka's taken a bit of stick since the USA game, with people saying Rashford needs to be starting ahead of him. And I'll be honest, I wasn't criticising Saka, but I was thinking maybe Rashford's done a bit more to start ahead of Saka in this game. But Saka, he played well tonight, so you can't fault him at all. And it's going to definitely give Southgate a headache going into the next game over who he should start, because I think with Foden's performance tonight, he's sort of marked his place, or done enough to keep his place in the quarterfinals against France. So yeah, we know the opponents as well in the quarterfinal, which is really interesting. So I'll just run through the lineup I think we've got to go with. I think pretty much the exact same team, keep it short. The only player I possibly think about changing is Saka for Rashford. That one I think is quite debatable. So yeah, it's either way. I think it can go well. So yeah, I think it's really important Kyle Walker maybe gets told to not go forward too much, because Kylian Mbappe is going to be France's main threat. I think we also need to keep the midfield tight. We're like one of the midfielders, tight. Not like man markings so much, but like just keeping an eye on Griezmann, not allowing him too much space, because he's the one who tends to find Mbappe and Dembele out in space out wide, which causes problems. So that will be one of the problems that England come up against. But I think our midfield can overrun France's midfield, and that sounds absolutely mental. But Henderson, Rice, and Bellingham, I'd probably take that over Chouameni, Rabiot, and Griezmann. I think the workload that gets done is probably more so in England's favour, because I don't think Rabiot is particularly a player who is going to graft for you. Griezmann definitely isn't, but Griezmann is a wonderfully creative player, so he definitely has a role. Chouameni, he's a player I really like, but I think with the midfield three we've got, we can potentially, overrun them. And I haven't been too impressed with France's defence. I think, for one, Deschamps tends to start possibly and arguably his third and fourth best centre-backs right now. I'm not trying to criticise Varane at all, but Varane isn't what he was 4 years ago. And also Konate and Saliba are in brilliant form. So I think France are beatable. I think it will be a really close game. It just depends on how our defence performs, because our defence hasn't been too bad this World Cup. We conceded a couple of sloppy goals late on against Iran. But that's first game of the tournament. It takes time to learn who takes up what position in that defence after going 2-3 months without playing with each other. That obviously takes a game to get back into the rhythm of that. I'm really happy with England. In fact, I'd go as far as to say this has been my favourite England performance under Southgate so far in a knockout game at a tournament. Because if you look back at who we've played in 2018, Colombia, it wasn't a bad performance, but you look back and you think that wasn't a great Colombia side. They had a lot of players missing in that particular game. And then quarter-final against Sweden, we beat them 2-0, but Sweden, they're a decent side, but it still wasn't amazing. And obviously from then on it wasn't the greatest performances ever, because we went out and lost to Croatia and Belgium in the third place playoff. But at the Euros, again, the performance against Germany, I didn't feel it was a great game from us. We did well to remain solid and get the 2 goals towards the end of the game. And then against Denmark, again, it was a cagey game. We just about did enough in the end in extra time, I think it was. I missed the quarterfinal against Ukraine. To be fair, it was a good quarterfinal against Ukraine, but again, are Ukraine the highest calibre of opponent? I don't think they're as good as Senegal, no offence to them. They are a country that is currently in turmoil and through no fault of their own, really. But yeah, this has been my favourite performance in the Gareth Southgate era in knockout games in a tournament. So yeah, really, really good to watch, and I'm really excited for the France game, because I didn't think that England, because I saw, okay, if we win our group, which is likely, and if France win their group, which is likely, I didn't think we'd be able to get past the quarterfinals. And having seen how we've played and having seen how Southgate set us up, I think we genuinely have a chance, because I was worried this tournament that Southgate was, okay, you might go 4-3-3 in the games where we're coming up against an opponent that we should be beating. But I thought he might go back to, the safe 3-4-3 or 3-5-2 against maybe the stronger teams. But it doesn't look to me like he's going to do that, and I really hope he doesn't do that. I really hope he just, goes with it, hopes that we just outscore the opponent, because I think that's the best option. If we sit back against France, I think Kylian Mbappe and players like Griezmann as well could overrun us, basically. But yeah, really good performance, really happy with it. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.